Snap.
All right, we have plenty of space to kind of
All right.
just do. Okay, dang it, dude. Oh
Three,
my
two,
gosh.
Clap sync.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay.
5 years later.
5 years later, freaking what a mess. You know, all this.
It's just been a busy week.
It's been a busy week, dude, and
Busy a lot going on.
yeah, you know, get ready to sweat, bro.
There is sweat. Summer's coming. So.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna check. What do you think of this? This light.
Okay.
It's off, right?
All right.
That's us on.
It's on.
This is that brightness, or
I think it's just so here's the contrast between me and you because I'm significantly darker than you.
I'm a little.
So it's like we try to get less light on you to not overexpose.
Yeah,
More light on me so it's not too dark and shadowy.
Well, you know, it's really a photography problem. Like if you watch people that are two different contrasts, like at like weddings or anything like that, it's just like you can't light both of them at the same time. It's gonna be one or the other.
Yeah, I know when we went and did like the photos for my mom for her birthday, me and brothers, because they're both significantly lighter than me.
Yeah.
And like he went to when he was editing and stuff, I asked him, I was all like, it's like, why are y'all like overexposed? He's like, I had to brighten it up because you were so dark. Like I couldn't see your face if I like fixed it for me and Herman.
Hey, but you're good. Like you like this is the tan that people are trying to go for.
Yeah, this is the look people are trying to accomplish.
When they're going to them tanning beds, they're like, I like that color.
I want that.
I want that color.
How many V-Bucks is that?
Yeah. We paying for skins.
Yeah,
literal skins.
Literal skins.
All right. What do we want to start with?
We'll do Baka and Test.
Okay.
First, just finished it. So
okay.
Fresh on the mind.
Fresh on the mind.
Fresh on the mind. Let
me pull up.
Sounds like a squirrel more than a win.
I wonder if we'll pick that up.
Oh, that's where you have that bag, right?
Yeah. It's a tarp. Because if not, then we would have like hardcore light.
Yeah,
it's too much. It's too much light.
Be like the Rapture. Did they ascend from the heavens?
Are they both angels now? Hopefully the wind will die down here in a second. All right. I'm pulling up a synopsis.
And here we go.
Are we going?
Are we good? Are you good?
Yeah. Let me put this bad boy on Do Not Disturb because everyone is disturbing me.
Everybody's gonna disturb today. Which song?
Okay.
Disturbing because they're down with the sickness. They're the ones that did that song, right?
Yeah, Disturb is down with the sickness.
Okay, I had to like think for a minute. I was just like, oh gosh, because a lot of those bands sounded the same.
They really did, you know. And
like each particular genre, most of the bands, 99% of the time, sound the same.
There's something about that happens. It's like when Adele was like big and everybody started sounding like Adele.
Yeah, it's like, bruh. It's a pop song, man. It's 4 chords for every song you ever made. So
dude.
Same chord progressions.
Okay. Done. And all
right. Here we go. Doing it live.
Doing it.
In 3, 2, and 1. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, Joe Angel, with my co-host Sal, and as you can see, once again, we are together again in the same room.
Joe Angel, don't mess up the
illusion that we're always in the same room.
Yeah. It's like I watch these podcasts on like online, and they always just kind of like cut back and forth from one person to another, and I'm like, you know, if they didn't If you couldn't tell, yeah. If you just had the same background, or make it look like it's the same, you could.
I think we got to get like some green sheets behind us and then pick the
green screen this thing, or either we make our rooms look like the same. I'll send you. You could
send me a piece of this. Send me this half.
It could be split in half. Joe Angel. Just don't put us.
Just frame it.
And just frame it up. I'm telling you, we have the same room, baby.
Same room, guys. Because this is Anime Me podcast.
By the way, Anime Me is a podcast where we teach you how to watch and love anime one episode at a time. First episode at a time. I'm getting a buzz.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
It's like,
all right, whatever.
All right, we'll be good.
Yeah. I'll just keep my hand on it. How about that?
How about that?
Catch me outside. It's been hectic, dude. Trying to set this up with me and you both together, because we only see each other live
a few times out of the year.
Once a quarter, as some people would say, like
quarterly.
Yeah, quarter. You're just here to check on my quarterly analysis. You're like, so how are things going at the?
It's the quarterly review.
Yeah, and then I have to report in on Joe Angel. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of a buzz, but maybe it might be just in our ears.
Hopefully.
All right.
Anyways, so today we are talking anime, as you can tell. BBB.
Give it a second. Just cut this out, Joe Angel.
Just cut it out.
Fix it. All right, let's do it. Hurry.
Good. Hurry. Go back.
Don't touch anything. All right.
And we're back in it.
All right, we're talking podcast.
Talking podcast. Anime Me podcast. One episode, first episode at a time.
That's right.
And today we are bringing a throwback from our pilot.
So do we want to let them know that we did this anime before.
Yeah.
And it went all right.
I don't know. Well, I think because the first time we did 3, and this was one of the ones that we talked about.
I'm trying to think how long that podcast would have been.
Oh, man. Because we did
3 of them. And
it was Ghost Stories, this one, and
Komi. No,
it wasn't.
No, not Komi.
It was Tomo.
Tomo-chan
is a girl.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so rewatching it, I don't remember anything. So it was perfect. I was some of it I do remember. Yeah. There were just some things that I was just like, whoa, is this, because I don't remember the title, the subtitle. I was thinking maybe this was a different show.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's been redone, or was there a dub back then or a sub? Yeah. I'm not exactly sure. But before we get into that, let me give us a synopsis. We good?
Before we do that, the anime we're watching is Baka and Test.
Oh my gosh, did we forget to say that? Yeah, we're good. We're real good. Also, I have a game for us today.
You do?
And I'll go ahead and wait till we're done before we go into our rating, and we'll do this. All right?
All right.
But before we do all that, let me read us a synopsis. Now you get to see this. You get to see
live
this happen live. See this happen live, Joe Angel. And I could see your judgment in person. Baka and Test, Summon the Beast. This is how I read my synopsis off of a. This doesn't help any. Fumizuki Academy's student can summon avatars, pint-sized versions of themselves that battle using special powers. The students are grouped by skill level, and those in Class A are the brightest. Then there's Akihisa Yoshi's group, lowly Class F. They're the worst in campus, and they're about to take on the school's best. I think it was close. I think if you heard me read that out loud, you go, yeah, I think I.
Yeah, I get the idea.
I think he made sense when he read
Pint
that.
size is an old man phrase, by the way. It is. I always forget that was actually used to talk about kids.
Pint size.
Pint size. Look at this little pint size.
Yeah. It's a nice little old school. Or whippersnapper.
These young whippersnappers.
Yes, a snipper wapper if you're a silly old man. Which I am, so I'm not opposed to a snipper wapper. Mm-hmm. Okay, so where do we start with this show?
Let's start with. So throughout. What did you recall throughout it?
Okay,
like,
so yeah.
Which part did you remember?
Okay, so I remember the very beginning.
Yeah.
I remember him coming across our protagonist, Yoshi.
Yeah.
He comes across his teacher, who like gives us the old okey doke.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought you were an idiot, but like you've proved me wrong.
Yeah.
You're like 100% the dumbest person.
Such like an inspiring.
It is.
And they got the cherry blossoms going in the background. They got the light shining on him.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
make
just
us feel like,
yeah.
oh, he's about to tell him, you're not an idiot.
Yeah.
You're probably the smartest person.
You're a prodigy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're the dumbest person.
I don't know what the equivalent of prodigy is, like the opposite
Prodigy.
of prodigy. He's the opposite of a prodigy.
Yeah.
He's like really
He's a certified bona fide
dunce. A dunce, you know, like they used to put that little hat on you and say you were the dumbest in school. So I remember that. I remember there being a challenge like between classes.
Yeah.
I remember like that class F was like straight up trash.
Yeah.
And class A was like
super nice.
Yeah, like the
it really is a show about classism.
It really is. And I don't know if the power of like, I don't know if they get any smarter, you know, like I don't know if it's like it's gonna be that like the power of like learning.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I wrote down here like big school is over here trying to promote school. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what
always promoting school.
Always promoting school.
Always got it.
You know, we don't know about that here in America. We don't care about school. You know, like we just learn how to do a dance on TikTok.
Yeah.
And you're set.
I know words. I know how to speak.
I don't need to. We don't need to know how to learn when we have AI.
Yeah.
Or you're in a group project and you just let one person do everything.
Yeah.
Which is, what's her name?
Himeji.
Yeah. Himeji, like, is, I guess, wrongfully in the class because she just passes out during the assessment test.
Yeah, it was like the teacher or the, I guess, test, what do they call them? The teachers who like monitor test monitors.
Yeah, teacher monitor.
Yeah, teacher monitor, whatever. He's all like, "Oh, if you're sick, if you leave this class, you're getting a 0."
Dude,
automatically like, okay, understandably, if it's like not an issue, not like an emergency.
Yeah.
If you're gonna leave, okay, I get it.
Because he says it's part of the class. Like you need to stay.
Staying healthy is part of this test. Like,
what in the world? This is the wildest. Like, these teachers are serious. What kind of academy is this? Go somewhere else, because this school is too hardcore. They're all too hardcore. Yeah. Like, they call one of the teachers Iron Man.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the flat top. It's like a military school. Oh, man, there's so many things. Did you watch this in both the sub and the dub?
Yeah.
Okay, so is Himeji's like the only way I could describe it is sexy baby voice. Is there sexy baby voice? Yeah. They're pretty similar.
Pretty much. It's like, so she's like the real super girly character.
Mm-hmm.
So they, with the voice and the tone, they try to make it like, you know, okay, how would this girl sound in America? Which would be like Mean Girl. Like, ooh,
yeah.
That type of kind of voice.
Do we? Okay, so do I always say this, but am I too wrong to say that this is 100% most, like, this is the most anime movie, a TV show.
Yeah.
You know, like the beginning of it starts off with like a DDR song.
Yeah.
Like, tell me I'm wrong. That's a
straight Dance Revolution.
That's a Dance Revolution. Even like the lights are scrolling and all the friends are
they
like,
got all the anime stuff. They're running, they're falling, they're jumping.
Stars. And then they're doing like, she's making all the anime lady noises.
Yeah.
He does the thing, like, I think we had this conversation before where like, or I've made mention to like how Japanese humor, and I couldn't come up with something like immediately like, this is one of the Japanese like comical things that happen, and they lean into it. And this one is the bloody nose thing.
The nosebleeds,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's very
common.
That's very Japanese, right? Like we don't. If you were to show somebody this that didn't really watch anime, you'd be like, what's wrong with that guy's?
Why is he bleeding?
Why is he is he like allergic to cherry blossoms? Like what's going on here?
He's got a medical condition.
Yeah,
like, why aren't they helping him?
Exactly. He's just he loses like a pint size of blood. Honestly, there's also another thing. That I find as we first watched this like years ago. Yeah. A year ago. Dude, how long has it been? A year and a half? Year and a half. It's gotta be a year and a half.
Year and a half. Yeah.
I would say a year and a half. We first watched this and I see the whole like there's like a video game aspect.
Yeah.
It's
very Edgar Wright-ish in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. Okay, I could see that. Yeah. With the whole like they have like meter and like
because they're also doing like the background stuff, like with the wind, they're having the word and bubbles come in with it.
Yeah.
The way they're pulling up their names and like it's just like really like comic book video game-esque type of anime.
Okay, yeah, that really resonates with me because I was kind of thinking that same thing when I'm seeing all the little like one of the classmates gets him in a headlock. Yeah. And you see her meter build up, and then she uses her finishing move on him. Yeah. I go, yeah, that's now that I think about it, that's very video game Scott Pilgrim versus the World kind of stuff. But I don't know much about like turn by turn base video games. Do you know?
It's almost like have you ever played Final Fantasy?
No, not really. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like kind of strategic. You have and stuff. So really, it's like you have your group, you have your characters, and then like you set an attack for each of them, and then it like once you get all the attacks set, you can like turns out like okay, now they're gonna do all their attacks. Monster's probably gonna attack in some point, and it's kind of like that, kind of like a strategy.
Yeah.
Using like. So at this instance, you have to have a teacher for to start a battle, to start the war, and depending on who the teacher is a subject you're gonna do. So they kidnap the math teacher.
Pretty much, yes. So what happens is they Class F doesn't like where they are, and they're like, you know what? Let's challenge Class E.
First day of school.
Let's challenge Class E, and we're gonna challenge to a battle. Yeah. Little do they know that Himeji is not a dummy like the rest of them. They all belong in Class F. Yeah. She is what? What do you think? Class A material?
Class A.
Class A. She just happened to faint and not finish her test.
Yeah.
And so then
she's there by happenstance.
Yeah. And but they look like they're gonna be whooped up by Class E. Oh, yeah. And they are being whooped up by Class E. And she comes in and saves the day. Nice little like reveal there. Yeah. Because they didn't like let us in on that. Yeah. I like that. I like that I didn't know. Oh snap! She is like.
Because legit. the way the teachers explain it in the beginning, as soon as Himeji faints, it's kind of like going from her point of view. She's like blacking out. Mm-hmm. So it's real kind of subtle between the conversation between Akihisa and the teacher, because he's trying to be like, hey, she's like. Fainting and she's sick, we got to get her help. So he's all, but teachers, super hardcore. She leaves, she's getting 0. Like she fails. Like,
that is way too hardcore, by the way. I mean, like, let him make it up. Yeah. I think I had a situation where same thing happened. Like I was supposed to be taking a test. It was like the ACT or SAT, one or the other, and there was a carnival going on outside.
I gotta get that carnival.
The teacher was like, oh yeah, there's too much fun happening outside, y'all go have fun. No. It was just really distracting. Like there was like sounds and music, like the sounds a carnival would make. And the school monitor, SAT, ACT monitor person was like, we can't take this test today.
We can't do this.
This is too much. Y'all, like, we'll go ahead and make it up later. Yeah. And he, like, understood. And he probably wanted to go to that carnival.
Yeah,
now that I think about it, he's like,
he could see, smell that funnel cake. He was all like,
I want that funnel cake.
I need that funnel cake.
I want to, and some cotton candy. Yeah. Get you a candy apple.
Is that turkey leg I smell?
Not these teachers, though. They ain't about that. I was like, this is like, what is this academy? By the way, school. Japanese cherry blossoms. Pink-haired
pink haired girl.
What are they? Do we call them like just avatars? Or are they chibi? What's the difference
So
between
the style is chibi style,
Okay.
but in the show they reference them as their avatars because they're like their little characters that they use to simulate the battles.
Is there okay? And go ahead and I'm okay with spoilers on this one.
Yeah.
I had one question for you.
Okay.
The fact that he is. So the great thing that what is our who is the class president? What is his name? You don't remember his name?
Yuji.
So Yuji kind of like seems like he has a strategy, and then he talks to Yoshi, and Yoshi is asking him, "What's the strategy?" He goes, "No, I don't have a strategy." Yeah. But then he kind of does. I think he was in my mind. I'm thinking he was just kind of stalling for Himeji because maybe he knew.
Yeah.
But is Yoshi's ability to be able to touch physical objects? Unlike the other avatars, because he's like, the other avatars, they can't really interact with things around them, but Yoshi can. Is that going to come into play?
Later.
Okay, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
All right. I won't. That's
because he's
he's
not only being the biggest idiot dummy around, he is a probationary student, which gives him the ability to have an avatar that can physically touch things in the real world, because he has more. Essentially, he's like forced to help the teachers move stuff and everything. So they're using him as like, all right, hey, he's almost like, as free labor.
Yeah. He's a grunt work kind of guy. Okay. Okay. I had a couple other questions. Why is it? And I don't remember her name, this girl's name either. But she needs. They're having this battle with Class E. Class F is having battle with Class E, and she goes to take one of the characters has to take off and take a like a what was that, like a recovery test?
Yeah, recovery test.
And she's like going through the test, and she's like, oh, she's just like getting it done, ripping through it, and she goes, wait, as long as I don't have to read Japanese, I am good. Yeah. How come she doesn't know Japanese?
Because that is Hibata, anyway, and so she was raised in Germany. So when we're doing the introduction, she says, because they talk about why, Akihisa makes a joke or makes it's like, oh yeah, you would be in here type thing, kind of like a dig at her. And she's like, it's not my fault. She's like, I'm in here because I can't read kanji. She's like, it's not my fault I can't read kanji. I grew up in Germany.
Oh,
so she didn't grow up in Japan to learn how to read all the kanji.
Well, then just chalk it up to me just not paying attention, Joe. It was all there. It was all there. There's all kinds of exposition in this show. It's like, that's the other one. Let's go ahead. Japanese cherry blossoms.
Pink-haired girl.
School. What was the word I just said here? Anime lady noises.
Anime lady noises. And Japanese.
What was kanji? Kanji?
What were you going for? What were you just going for?
What was I going for? I don't know, Joey. There was another thing. Oh, school is cool.
School is cool.
School is cool because there they are. Here we are. Like praising school, like the thing is in the class, like they're gaining power by getting smarter, right? Yeah. Is that what's happening? Like,
yeah, because they're essentially like, all right, if you want better stuff, you have to do these wars, but in order to do these wars, you have to be able to beat the class ahead of you.
Yeah.
So in turn, you have to like work harder, get smarter, to build up their power levels, to make sure they're strong enough to beat the upper class.
I might be changing my mind about learning and getting smarter, Joanne. If I can become more powerful.
If you can become more powerful.
If I can have like a little avatar. It made me think, though, I did like the way they kind of did the whole avatar transformation reveals. They were pretty funny. And it was pretty funny because I love that they even make a joke about it in the show. because there's like three of them. Two of them have like a regular avatar like show up. By the way, one of them is fighting with a camera. Just camera flash. Camera flash is his power. He's just like,
he's got the power of the paparazzi.
Gonna lose. Okay, you know, if he brings a camera to a sword fight, it's no good. But one of them like transform, and it's like
it's very Sailor Moon
suggestive. And then she even goes, how come mine was so dramatic and your guys's was not? Like, but it was like a really quick joke, and I thought that was really funny. There's some things that happen like that in the show that are like really quick jokes. They get in and get out of the joke like really quickly. So I appreciated that. I think that's pretty much all I have for the show. What did I miss? What did we miss?
So we talked about that. Got that. Himiji came in. We had Yuji. So Yuji technically did have a strategy with Himichi.
So you think this
because
he
knew but he was just like, it's in that phase where he's not really telling people why they're fighting. Like he's using he's basically like playing Akihisa almost, because Akihisa wanted to start a war because he is like he knows
nice things.
He knows Himiji doesn't deserve to be there anyways.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? She only got here because of the stupid rule.
Yeah.
He's like, she doesn't deserve to be here. He's like, you know what? And like, let's try and do this stuff to try and get some nice stuff for us.
She deserves better.
She deserves better than what we got.
Yeah.
And so Yuji knows that, so he's using that against Aki to be like, oh, hey, yeah, we're going to start a war. All right, since you're the ambassador, go tell Classy. He comes back beat up.
Yeah. Bloody nose, black eye, everything.
And he's all like, you set me up, bro. It's like, come on. And then Yuji's like, this isn't what you wanted? It like turns it around on him real quick.
Is it pull the okie doke?
Yeah, pull the okie doke on him. But the whole time, I think Yuji knew how smart Himiji was and like her capabilities. So, and he knew that in order, once the war started, she can actually go and retake the good her test and get her actual scores.
Yeah.
So he was just like, we just need to buy time. Whenever she's done, come back, boom.
By the way, barely enough time. By the
way,
barely enough time. I mean, like, no good. I mean, Yoshi's avatar is useless. He's like, he could touch some stuff, and grab like tables and chairs.
He can touch things, and any damage his avatar takes, Yoshi can feel.
Yeah, he actually can feel it and get hurt. Yeah. And he's a fox. Like, is he a fox? What is he?
I think, kind of like a fox, how a wolfish. He's got ears and a tail.
Yeah, I got ears. Yeah, and he immediately just stumbles over himself and crashes into. By the way, I love all the other thing too. I loved in class is that they make a point of it. Like everything in this room is trash. Yeah. Like there's nothing. Like the pillows they sit on are trash. Yeah. Their desks are breaking apart. Even the dais
in the walls. Yeah.
That the teacher's behind is falling apart. He's handing out glue. Yeah. And he keeps Yoshi keeps like complaining how everything sucks, and he goes,
just deal with it. Get over it.
Just get over it. Deal with it. Deal with it. It's fine. This is just how it is. So that's pretty funny.
Just how it be.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll do that later. Hit me with some facts. You got facts, bro?
All right. Let's get some facts going about this, guys. Let me pull it up real quick on my
I should have grabbed my other notes. My other notes just to see. Oh, you know what? I don't think I had notes on it. I think I just watched it. We just watched it.
Yeah, I think we just watched it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Baka and Test, Summon the Beast. All right. So, this all started out as a light novel.
Once again, a light novel. Are there pictures?
There's some illustrations, like with the cover ends and stuff. So
it's mostly
just words.
Okay, cool.
Mostly just words.
That's interesting.
So this was written by Kenji Inoue with illustrations by Yui Haga. Mm-hmm. And so this came out in January of 2009.
Okay.
So that's when everything started. And it ran all the way till March of 2015 under the Baptismo Bunko imprint. And it totaled out to about 18 volumes. So 18 books got published.
That's a lot. right?
But
Is
yeah,
that a lot? That sounds like
it's
a lot,
kind of
right?
a lot.
Is
Yeah,
that
for
kind of
for it's a good amount. Because depending on like the other longer running series, they're like 30, 40.
Okay.
One Piece is just crazy
Okay.
about like
Yeah, because when you say this, I'm always kind of imagining, if I think of like light novel
you could
and I think
fill
about
up a whole bookcase
yeah.
with One Piece.
Okay, that's wild.
Yeah, and so 12 of those volumes were the main story. So 12 of the volumes,
Mm-hmm.
12 out of the 18 were the main story. The other six were just like side stories and stuff.
Like what, like spin-offs or just
Not really
like
spin-offs, just like little side stuff, side stories, probably about some of the other characters that we meet and come across.
okay.
Maybe some epilogue stuff. But yeah, 6 volumes were dedicated to all that.
I'm guessing what they're just trying to get to Class A. Like
Yeah,
they
they're
want to
just
be
like it's really
they want
just
to be Class A.
showing that just because they're in the lower class that they can't do stuff.
Okay. Okay.
You know. So we got all that, and then we had the manga version. So it got translated into a manga, so with some actual like pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so the main one was illustrated by Mosuke Emoto and Yumeta, and that came out in Kodawa Shoten's Shonen Ace. And so the manga came out in April 2009 and ran all the way till July of 2016. So it totaled out to about 15 volumes in the manga.
I haven't really thought about this, but is it wrong for me to suppose that if this wants to be turned into a manga, into an anime, it doesn't go light novel anime. It has to go light novel manga anime, you think?
It all just depends.
Because I feel like maybe we've watched some that went straight from light novel to anime. Maybe.
Yeah, like I said, it all just depends on like what came out first.
Okay.
Like, because like with Cowboy Bebop, it was an anime from the start.
Yeah.
That came out as manga, and then some light novel. Sometimes they come out as manga, go into anime, and then sometimes light novel. And so really, it's just all just depends on when the original content got created.
Okay.
And so that was that. And then there's 2 spin-offs that came out after it, which the first one was Baka and Test Shokanju, and that came out Shokanjuja, and that was illustrated by Koizumi, and that ran from February 2010 to January 2014 in Shonen Ace. And then it was a 4-panel comic strip spinoff, came out called Baka to Testo Shokanju Spin Out Soreka Konkwara Nichi. And that was illustrated by Namo, and that came out in Phantasmo Comic Clear. That came out in October 2009 and then ran all the way to August of 2012. So that one was just a comic, like a comic strip.
Just a comic strip, yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a interesting, I'm guessing that it must have had, there's a real following to this. It's, people know about Baka and Test.
Yeah.
Now, what does Baka mean? Because I remember.
Baka means dumb. It's like stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then test is test, like taking a test, like dummy and the test.
Dummy and the test, yeah. Because it's because it's dummy test, and then of course summon the beast is just they're summoning their avatars.
Okay. See, I forget to ask, what the heck is this title mean?
The title.
I think I had started with that because it was, but now that I've watched so many anime, I don't even think
question the title.
I don't question the title because even if it is crazy, I'm just whatever. That's just anime, bro.
That's just anime, baby.
Yeah.
Just anime. Speaking of anime, the anime came out in January of 2010, and then it ran all the way till March of 2010. First season. So there's 2 seasons and then 2 OVAs. So the first season came out January 2010, ran all the way till March 2010. So it came out to about 13 episodes in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And then the two OVAs came out. They came out, one came out in February, and then the other one came out in March of 2011. And then the second season came out in July of 2011, and then ran all the way till September of 2011. And that was also 13 episodes.
Are these OVAs like that's two of them that happened between the first and the second season?
Yeah,
Are
those
those
kind of like condensed?
like the first season
some
condensed,
sense.
or are they just like a new story
I'm trying to
continuation?
remember.
Like I was just talking to somebody, and they were like, "Oh, the next season of such an I can't remember what anime they're gonna condense. They're gonna put it into a movie,
Yeah,
and like that's gonna be the next like thing.
Probably
and you need
Demon
to watch that. Is it Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer, the Infinity Castle movie
Right,
is basically
gonna be a movie.
like the second season.
Yeah, right.
Because it was kind of like how Mugen Train was.
Yeah,
Mugen Train was essentially the next arc in that story,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of making it like another season, they made it a movie.
So is that considered an OVA, or is it?
No,
'Cause what
that
is
was
this?
just like a movie.
Okay, so what's an OVA then? What am I talking
So
about?
OVA is
here?
the like original video animation. So it's like original stories that just go straight to video, like straight to DVD,
Okay, all right.
straight to home video,
Okay.
like how Aladdin 2 was.
These people don't know what an or what a VHS is, you know, or a DVD. We don't know what DVDs are.
So that stuff came out. So this was animated by Studio Silverlink, who was the studio that animated the Misfit Demon King Academy.
You know, I can kind of feel it a little bit. I like the way this one was animated. You can but you can also tell. The Misfit Demon King. I feel like is newer, right?
Newer
like
one. I think so.
this one feels. I can kind of feel kind of the age of it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the way they kind of like treated some of the coloring. Some of the groups are they kind of lump everybody together and just do an outline and put them in like halftone or just a little coloring, which is definitely a move. I think I'll see it sometimes in certain animes, but this one was definitely like, it felt like mid 2000s. Like I can kind of feel, and now that I've watched more anime, I can kind of feel the age of this one. So
yeah, it came out in 2020.
2020. Look at me. Look at me go, Joe Angel.
Look at you go.
Look at me go. Look at me know what anime is about. All right, go for it.
All right. So yeah, anime came out like I said, 2 seasons, both 13 episodes each. Got the 2 OVAs, so total out to about 28 episodes worth of stuff. For the anime. And then of course we got the OP, which was perfect. Perfect Area Complete by Natsuko Aso. And then we had the ending song, which is Baka Go Home. That was by Milk Tub.
I saw that at the thing. I was like, that's a great, when we were at the end of it, we were watching and they showed like who did the songs.
Yeah.
I go, I like that.
I like that name.
That name is good. Milk Tub. By the way, real quick, this is a complete aside here, but we need, and maybe I'll just take it upon myself to go through some of these animes and find our favorite songs, intros and outros, and compile it into a playlist. I've never done it where I don't know how these people will like make a playlist and make it public. But we should definitely do that on Spotify because I was able to find some of these songs, and they're all on Spotify, and I could just like compile them.
Or like it's like I don't know if you ever seen those. It's like a meme format where they make a playlist, but they're essentially it's telling the story with all the titles of the songs.
Or all the words.
Yeah, all the words. Yeah.
She could definitely do that too.
And so that was the anime. And then in December of 2012, a Japan-only exclusive came out.
Can I take a guess?
You want to take a guess?
It is a stage play.
Nope.
It's a video game?
Video game.
I was just about to say, I hope. Do you know how this game plays? Because here's what I would think. And I think this would be brilliant. You know, like, why not make a school, like, is cool game where you're, like, learning math or like subjects,
Yeah.
and your character is getting stronger, and you run around and you like learn stuff, and then your actual player powers up.
I think it's
Did you-
essentially kind of how
The
it
game will play?
is.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's how it's played. But like I said, it was a Japan only exclusive that came out on the PSP.
PSP,
PlayStation
dude.
Portable.
Bring it
Way
back.
before its time.
By the way, it's come back. I think
Yeah.
people actually do collect PSPs and like all the little
I know there's a
handheld
guy
games.
that I've seen some of his reels. He goes to like Japan and looks up like some of the exclusive stuff. Like he found like a Gundam exclusive GameCube.
Yeah. Old
He's
school.
yeah, like old school. It's like he just tries to go through these shops to find like the like limited editions, rare stuff.
I feel like
stuff.
some of them Japanese video games, they made like 2 or 3 of them, and they were like, "Hey, check out this game I got." It's like there's only one copy.
I got the only one.
I got the only copy. Man, that would have been like, so back in the day. I don't want to say how long ago it was, but there used to be a game called Number Munchers.
Number Munchers.
And there was another game. I can't remember the other one, but you're like, you could be racing against somebody, and you had to do like math equations, and your character would jump over a log or like jump over water, and you had to like, if you could do the math problem, if you
got the answer right,
if you got the answer right, you're jumping. But if you got it wrong, you're falling over that log and slowing down. I mean, like, come on, dude, like, brilliant. You know,
I remember when I was in elementary, they had a thing where we could get like a PlayStation loaned out, and they had it was essentially a learning video game.
Yeah,
like it was like a disc, and they had a bunch of different games and stuff on there. Like,
I hope this is, you know, as Japan is starting to take over with their anime here in America, and as our schooling system is starting to fail a little bit more. Bring back some video, like Japanese school is cool video game stuff. Like,
just put everything in a video game.
Honestly,
kids will learn.
There is like a push for that in school for them to make like learning more video game, like, because the kids will like go to school and then gain like knowledge, but then like you gain points. Yeah. And so there are certain like schools or teachers who are trying to like lean into that a little bit. And I think that that would serve this whole,
like in Fortnite, like have them like, hey, take this math test. If you pass, you get
new skin.
You get a new skin, or you get some V-Bucks.
Get V-Bucks. Dude, honestly.
Or use like Minecraft movie just came out. Use that to like actually do some real life agriculture and like,
except
skills.
For these kids would just kind of go on there, ask AI, copy the answer. It's just like,
AI, figure this out for me.
Yeah, figure this out for me, and now you got the Goku skin, and you're invincible. Come on, kids, try a little harder, bros.
Try harder. Learn
harder.
something.
You
actually,
know, don't be a baka.
Don't be a baka.
Hey, who knows? Who knows Japanese? Not this guy.
But yeah, that's all the facts.
That's about all we got.
That's about all we got.
All right, well, before we get into the guac talk, let's lead our way into guac talk. Oh, don't look at my notes, Joe Angel. My answers are in this thing. We're going to play a game, and it's called Anime Scorecard. Wait,
Anime Scorecard.
Should we come up with a better name than that?
What's that rating?
Rate this. Rated.
Rate this. R-rated. By the way, this is rated 14 plus on Crunchyroll.
I'm so confused. You know, because there was something else we were watching. They said 14 plus, and I was like, nah, dog.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure.
It was 91 Days, I think was.
91 Days was 14 plus.
14 plus.
And there was another one.
I think Cowboy Bebop was 14 plus.
The one with the taking over the world and love. Hey, I got it right here. It was
World Domination.
Yes, it was the World Domination one.
Yeah.
But that one, I was like, hey, she was like in straight up lingerie.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't
definitely
matter.
TVMA.
Okay, so here's how the anime scorecard. This is how it works. I'm just gonna tell you 2 animes, and you got to tell me which one is
This is the one I always talk myself out of.
Yeah, that's why I like playing this one. I want to hear you talk your way out of it. Talk yourself out of this. I'm going to give you 2 animes, and you're going to tell me which one is the better rated. The higher rated. And I want to give the
Is this Rotten Tomato or IMDb scores?
This will be IMDb scores. There's also Crunchyroll scores. But I didn't take those into account because they kind of line up the same, except for just there's more reviews on Crunchyroll. Yeah. All right. So, and I can give you some hints here by telling you how many people have rated each one of them. Yeah. Okay, so that'll help a little bit. First one, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Just recently watched it. Yeah. Pretty good.
Go watch it.
Yeah, and go listen to our podcast. Yeah. Cowboy Bebop. Oh, right? These are tough. So, tell me, Joe Angel, is it Scott Pilgrim Takes Off? Is it have the higher rating? Or does Cowboy Bebop have the higher rating? And I will tell you that this is on IMDb, so they score this 1 to 10, 10 being highest. Yeah.
So,
talk me Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off and Cowboy Bebop. I picked these two because Cowboy Bebop is older, way older.
It is older, so it's got Pilgrim a lot more time to gather more reviews and ratings. Scott Pilgrim is newer, but it is such a beloved classic as well as Cowboy Bebop.
Would you like to know how many people have reviewed each one of these? Or you
give me Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop has 152,654 reviews. Or not reviews, but I guess like people rated it. Yeah, scored. 152,000.
That's a lot.
Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is 20,000.
Okay. Yeah.
20,650 to be exact.
Okay.
Who is the higher rated?
As I said before, more ratings gets it about to a reasonable kind of score. Lesser ratings usually will jump it up because even though it's less than Cowboy Bebop, it's got more of a chance to have higher ratings per review. Yeah. And that is a huge difference in reviews.
It's I don't know the percentage, but it's probably like
because it's 20,000 to 100,000.
150,000 to a 20,000.
So that's 130,000 more reviews.
Isn't that crazy?
With all that being said, I am gonna say they're in the same range. I'm going to say Cowboy Bebop is going to barely edge out Scott Pilgrim. I want to say they're in the same range as far as rating, but I think Cowboy Bebop barely scrapes by on top.
All right. Well, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is a 7.7 out of 10.
Out of 10. Okay.
Cowboy Bebop is 8.9 out of 10. I thought you were going to talk yourself out of it. I was like, oh, he's going to flip-flop it because you're telling yourself this. Yeah. And I'm like, he's about to go to Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. But you did it right. Yeah. Solid. There's a winner right there.
There's a winner.
We'll talk about go ahead and get a hold of me about your prize that you'll be getting later. All right.
I kind of figured they were going to be in the same ratio, like with how beloved both of those are. I'm like, they're at least within like one or two.
A pretty good range, and I think in Rotten Tomatoes they're even closer. Yeah. So I mean, but it's the fact that fact that Cowboy Bebop still has a great review after 152,000 reviews is mind blowing. I did really love that first episode, and I went back and I'm watching. I'm watching it right now, so I'm liking it. All right. Let's talk this. We ready this?
Baka and Test.
Baka and Test. Returning. What is this anime? Is this...
So this is shonen.
A shonen.
This is comedy.
Is it like fantasy or
sci-fi-ish? Fantasy more or less. It's more fantasy than sci-fi. Because, you got actual beasts.
And it's not like slice... Is it kind of slice of life-y?
It has like
some elements
of slice life because it's about their school life. Yeah. They're just fighting each other with avatars.
Okay. well, that all being said, I enjoy a nice comedy. Um, Yoshi seems very, he didn't
He's a
say this.
lovable oaf.
Yeah, he's a level of, you know what? I have a lot in common with this guy. That's I didn't say that at the beginning of it, but I have a lot in common with this guy. A real dummy, but also means well, also believes in himself a little too much.
Overconfident.
Overconfident, like I got this, and then before you know it, you're on the floor. I could make that jump, and then your knees leave the chat.
Your knees are still standing while you're across the way.
Yeah, my knees are over here. I'm over there. Yeah, so I kind of relate pretty hard to that. I enjoy. I think, that being said, I have a hard time with it because it is extremely anime for me. Yeah. Like, it's almost, I mean, I can kind of feel the age on it, like not age and like it's an old, but it feels a little young for me as a show. Like my niece and nephew would be into this.
Yeah.
But then also, but it's not though, because then there's a moment.
There's a lot of them.
There's a couple moments, like a wind blows and a lady's skirt moves, and then blood shoots out of his nose. And he says something I can't even remember.
Some camera angles and
there's some camera angles, and yeah. I'm just like, okay, this is for 14-year-olds. No, it's not. No, it's not. This 14-year-old has a job, okay, yeah. Or he drives.
This is 14 years old back in the 1920s.
Yeah, 1920s.
You're a grown man.
Yeah, you had a family. Yeah. you had a job. You worked in a coal mine. That's 14-year-old.
Yeah.
I didn't see what the reviews are on this. But the fact that it has, a video game, it has, it's got, I don't know, 18 volumes of light novel and all the manga and the OVAs, all that. I mean, it's shown that it is funny. It is good. It's like it was enjoyable to watch. We had some full disclosure. I was running behind Joe Angel, had to watch it with me, even though he's like, seen it.
A billionth time.
A billionth time. Here we go again, Sal. And we giggled out loud. There were like some funny moments that happened. So I enjoy all that. If I were to rate this from 1 to, I guess we can go. What grade I would give this if we're going off a grade.
From class A to class F.
Class A to class F.
Where are you going?
F being low, A being the highest. I would probably. I gotta count how many letters that is. Once again, showing how big of a dummy I am. I don't care.
Okay, he's really coming down.
He's a real baka, this guy. I'd probably go C.
C.
I'm like middle of the pack, right down the middle.
Yeah.
C minus. Just just because I don't know.
You're at that point now where the animes we're coming and watching that I'm bringing you.
Yeah.
That we're reviewing. You're getting it. You're in that range where, like, if I would have watched this when I was younger, I would have been into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's probably what it is. Yeah. Like, I've watched more anime that I'm getting closer and closer to kind of like finding mine.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to somebody else and we were just like going on about certain animes, and he was just like, I have two other friends that like they watch anime, and sometimes we'll get together and like, hey, let's watch some anime.
Yeah.
And we don't agree on
I don't know what to watch.
And I'm like, oh snap, like this isn't for one of my friends, I don't think he vibes with Dandadan, and I'm just like, I don't think he enjoys that. And or we'll watch something and you can kind of tell somebody's not into it, and I'm like, gosh, like I thought that everybody would be into this.
Yeah. And
so it's starting to show a little bit, and I'm starting to feel that too, like, oh well, I have my own thing that I like, and they'll have their thing that they like. So yeah, this is I would put this in the back burner a little bit for me. So where are you at with this one?
So watching it from the get-go, watched it all. watch both the sub and the dub.
This I feel like this is a little bit more up your alley. A little bit. I mean, it's got the
Yeah, like I said, it's got like the slice of life esque. It's got some romance going on in the background. It's comedy. It is like the Avatar type battle stuff that I like.
Yep.
Video game esque. Like all the jokes, all the quips, the quick stuff they go through. There is throughout the series, there is some heart to heart moments too that you'll come across, and you get those moments with each of them characters. You'll see their progressing and how they interact with each other. All that being said, like I said, watching it, the dub wasn't that bad for me when I watched it in the dub.
Okay.
You know, I could have the voices really weren't that big.
You and I watched it in the dub, and I felt like, I didn't feel any problems. I didn't have any problems with the voices. I didn't know if you did because you watched it in the sub before, but I'm like,
now it's almost kind of the same, like as far as tone wise and stuff. So all that, I would put this in class B.
Class B.
Yeah,
not bad.
A solid B.
A solid B. You know what? I like that. I mean, I'd rather us be. This anime can be in C for me, B for you. This podcast, though. Can be
an A for you.
That's right.
And by letting us know that it's an A for you, you can go to wherever you're watching us, whether it be YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, all those places we're at. Go review it. Go leave a like. Go leave a comment. Let us know what class you would put this in. Let us know what class you would be in. Where would you rank yourself?
And by the way, I want somebody to draw themselves as an avatar. I might draw myself as an avatar. Yeah.
How would your avatar look?
Oh, man. I don't know. I like the
tail.
Would you
be a fox? Would you be panda? What kind of animal do you think?
Man, I got to really think about that. I like a lion mane. Yeah. Maybe a lion's mane. And maybe some sort of like, what's that little 3-prong thing that Poseidon holds? Like the
trident?
Yeah, a trident. Probably a lion with a trident.
You could be oh my gosh, I can't forget.
Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Forgetting his name. Brett from Anchorman. He shows up in a trident.
Out of nowhere. He's a real dummy. It makes sense. I love it. I'll take it.
Oh man, but let us know all that stuff in those comments while you're there. Let us know why you like, how much you're loving this. Also, you can go to our website anime-me.com where you can find the list, not only this episode but all the other episodes that we've talked about. All the other animes that we've covered and everything. You can also find all the links to all the socials, all the podcast platforms, and where you can buy your own Anime Me shirt, guys. As you can see here, we got this one available, and we are also working on some more stuff, guys. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification so you can stay on top of that, and we'll let you know when we're getting those out to you guys. And with that, I've been Joandrew with my co-host Sal, and we'll see you on the next one. Liz.
Peace.
これはアニメミーでした。これから帰国の旅を始めます。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
Show called Baka and Test.
Okay, I got notes on this one.
Did you watch first? Did you watch English or Japanese?
I'm not, because I'm a noob. I don't know how Crunchyroll rolls, man. I clicked start and it was just going, and I was like, this is dubbed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, should I be watching this subbed? And I'm like, I don't know if it just, or maybe this is just how this is. So I just watched the whole thing dubbed.
You could Crunchyroll has it to where you basically have to go to the show, go to where it has all your episode lists, and it has each one marked dubbed, sub, because they also have Spanish translation, Portuguese, French,
I'm going Spanish.
German,
I need
all that.
I need to hear the Spanish translation. Okay, but so I did my.
For the most part, I figured you would have watched it English
dub, because I'm a straight up. I'm
noob.
A simp, bro. I don't know if I'm using that right.
But I figured you would watch the English stuff, which I watched both versions of this show.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your overall?
Overall, Baka and Test. I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. Because I have some experience in some anime stuff. I kind of I kind of get the there's some tropes in there that I kind of get. Like I'm like overall I'm thinking, okay, this is one of those we're in a school and there's a power struggle and we got to prove ourselves. And I got that. I was like, okay, I've seen some other things that's kind of like they do that what do you call it? Like the tournament kind of style where you're like you're watching it and well, let's see who the strongest is or let's move up a tier. Or let's move up in classes or something like that. So like you open up on this show that's like they're at like a prep school academy.
Yeah, it's academy high school,
and they're all ranked by like how smart they are, which I did love as as a husband to a teacher, and they put like value on like being smart
on education.
Yeah, on education,
which you should be.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, what does this do? Am I getting into the weeds? I don't know. What does this do for a culture where you're like, man, I want to be like powerful like these kids? Well, do your homework and you will be.
Do your work and be smart and you'll have the good stuff.
Yeah, you'll have the goods. Like they have avatars and then they fight each other, and it kind of reminded me of like an RPG game. Yeah. RPG.
Yeah.
Where you're like you have your character.
It's like a turn-based style.
Yeah, turn-based style, and you have power, and you're like as you attack each other. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny, pretty good. What I have some stuff written down here. Let's see here. Yoshi, our character. Is it Yoshi? Yoshi's like our main character.
Aki.
And he's pretty much deemed by by the teacher that they call Iron Man for some reason. I don't know why. He's dubbed an idiot.
Not just an idiot. He's
a genuine
first class idiot.
I was just like, this is one super hilarious that he just. I thought that the fact that they went in on that is hilarious, but I'm also thinking like, I don't know. Once again, what age is this for?
This would be kind of like another shonen type show, so kind of like teens, late preteens, around that area.
Okay, so yeah, I noticed some of that stuff, and then I was like writing down notes about like what's happening in this show. There's always, and I've noticed this on the very few animes that I have, they have the whole like, there's always that one kid that's kind of perverted, or maybe in one or two or three, or most of them, they're just a little perverted. You gotta have that, I guess. I also like the animation style. There's a part where I think his name is Yuji. Or that
Yuji Sakamoto?
Yeah, he is the class representative, and he gets into this really heavy speech, and then the animation style kind of changes as it intensifies. I love that, the creativity in that. It makes me like... But I also had some questions to Angel. Like, what is... I get the whole Avatar thing. They're like little almost personifications of themselves, and they can summon them somehow, and they can have them fight each other, kind of like Pokemon, I guess.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't even know much about Pokemon. That's a whole different podcast. But then the class representative is up there like laying out this scheme because they're all in the low class. They're in class F.
They're at the bottom of the barrel.
And they don't get any kind of school supplies. Their all their facilities are terrible. Class A has the stuff. They have laptops. They have got coffee. and so they're deciding that they're going to challenge these classes so that they can move up or like take their stuff. Because if you can beat the next class up above you, if you can do the summoners, is it a summoner?
Summoner's War.
The Summoner's War and beat them, then you can take their stuff.
Yeah.
So they're going to challenge them. And he's given this speech, and then everybody else is like, all the other characters are like listening to him, but they're like small kids. They're now small, like they're no longer big anymore. They're like little characters, and I'm like, what is this choice? Does this happen a lot? Like, why are they little and listening as like little people, like little versions of themselves? What is that?
It's just like another kind of like animation trope type thing, kind of style. Sometimes they'll have like, just to be in more of like a comedic sense to just give it some levity, they'll have like them either in the corner, kind of like smaller, chibi style. Basically, would be that way.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure you've noticed too with backgrounds and stuff like that, they don't give much detail on background characters.
I actually had
like
that written down. Like some of them kids, like there's one, she's like the head of the class A, and then she has like no face kids behind her. Like they're all drawn like somewhat detailed, but no eyes, no nose.
Typically it'll be something like that,
and then
either just make like an outline or something like that, just for animation purposes, just to make it go quicker.
Yeah, probably. Like even like some of them are just like colors. They're like just not even. They're nothing. They're just a blob and like polka dots.
Yeah. But just that stuff. It's just little small stuff they do to try to give it like kind of basically just their little mark, like their little thing that they do.
By the way, this show it like jumps in. Like we are in this show fast. Like there's a exposition dump immediately. You watch. I don't even remember like listening to the music. What do you call it? The intro music.
The intro music.
I don't remember listening to that because it's immediately like just into it, and there's some guy that's narrating like this is what's happening on the show, and this is what's happening at this school, and this is and they just continue to just like exposition, and it's just like happening, and then we're just like in the show, we're meeting the character, we're already like, I'm pretty sure I get the rest of it. I think I can kind of guess what's gonna happen, like as they continue to. You know, Yoshi is an idiot. He's also kind of goofy. He has this weird, like he's what was the word that they use? He's a
probationary
student. So something's gonna happen there, you know, and like he's got to become more powerful. I mean, of course, it's gotta be, you know, maybe I don't know, but like, and then but like I'm already in the show. Like it happens, in it. Like we're like 5 minutes in the show. I'm like. Oh, I got the whole show.
Yeah.
Like here I don't need a whole episode to like figure out what's gonna happen. I'm like, oh, we're already. Like,
they're pretty much like
it's
from
fast.
The gun. All right, here's what we got. Here's where we are. Here's what's happening.
Yeah, and there's no questions. My captions were weird. Maybe that's just a Crunchyroll thing.
Maybe sometimes it just depends. Some of the captions will be kind of weird, just depending on like. Which app you're using. Sometimes they'll translate stuff a little differently. Especially, it's just all I have to say is it's the English language, man. Yeah, English.
Should I be watching this subbed or dubbed?
I'm fine with both.
Yeah,
honestly, you know, like I said, I expect you to watch it.
Well, I don't know if this one, like, if it does anything different for, you know,
not really. For the most part, it's pretty much this kind of the
same
dialogue.
You know, like I remember.
Yeah,
I think I forgot. I mean, going back to my noob simp days of watching only Toonami. I watched all of Dragon Ball Z dubbed, like the rest of us did, and then I went back and started watching some of it subbed, and I was disappointed, to say the least, about Goku's voice.
It's pretty high, right?
It's really high. Like
it's a girl voice, no.
No,
a lot of Japanese voice actors are females for most part. Like with that, especially with shonen characters, a lot of them are gonna be female voice actors.
Female voice actors doing the. I mean, you know what? I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, Bart Simpson is done by a woman, so I mean, I have no problem with that. It's
like
just
I think the Rugrats cast was all women. I think.
But, you know, whenever I watch the whole show, I watched all of Dragon Ball Z, and then I see it in sub, and I'm like, maybe I should be watching it in sub because, you know, all the real anime guys are like, dude, you need to be watching it subbed. And I watched it in sub, and I was like, no, I shouldn't be, because Goku does not sound like that. How dare you? He's the strongest man in the world, or he's the strongest person in the world, and he's got the tiniest voice ever.
There's some that I'm pretty okay with. Like English dub and sub and Japanese dub. Now I just watch stuff originally in Japanese dub just because a lot of stuff, like especially on Crunchyroll, they got kind of the same day showing when it comes to Japan. Like with Dragon Ball Super, when that came out, I knew it was going to take a long time to get English dub, but you could watch it on Crunchyroll the day it aired in Japan subbed. And so
you get on it.
You get on it and stuff like that. You get on early, you can watch it, know what's going on and stuff like that, which for that too, if you read the manga, like I said, with the mangas and stuff, they'll usually typically be ahead, so that's another tier where the manga readers are above the sub watchers because they know what's happening.
I enjoyed this show. I thought it was super funny. there were some moments that I like literally laughed out loud. I enjoyed the writing. It's pretty funny, and I liked the characters. You know, they kind of have. I mean, there was the one. Who was the one character? Hideyoshi. She's like, Yoshi thinks she's a girl, or he's a girl, but he's actually a guy.
Yeah. So that'll be another trope.
Okay, in like just in most animes,
it's called a trap.
Oh.
So when you hear people talk about traps, it's basically like a tom girl. Tom girl. Like tomboys, tom girls.
Okay.
So Hiyoshi's kind of a tom girl character, to where like you think it's a girl, turns out to be a guy.
Okay. And so that happens quite a bit.
That happens quite a bit in anime. That's like another trope.
How do you say Himoji?
Himeji. Yeah.
Himeji. Yeah. She, her voice was, I don't know what it sounds like in the anime, but the girl voice that they give her is this like sexy baby voice.
Her character is kind of like I would say fan service type. Just because of her assets.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice word. Nice word. Yeah. She's got like
typically that'll be like another thing. Like fan service too would be another trope in a lot of animes. Okay. Like High School of the Dead.
So okay. Yeah, I've seen some of that. I've seen memes.
Very heavy fan service.
Okay. Fan service.
A lot of animes will have that type of stuff in them too.
I mean, I don't know how much they'll lean into it, but nerds rule apparently. And she comes in like beast mode because she's super smart. And school is cool. I got all these things.
School is cool.
School is cool. Nerds are.
It's a good anime to watch if you want your kid to think school is cool and to be smart. Like, hey, look, if you're dumb, you're gonna be in this class. But if you're smart, look at these kids. Look how much stuff they got.
They're super. Oh yeah. The smarter kids get all the
good stuff.
Yeah, and all the dumb kids have like they have to sit on the floor on like no fluffy pillows, no
broken
windows, broken tables and stuff. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking about this. You and I have done a podcast before.
Yeah.
Like, way back. And I get into conversations with people about like movies I love, music they love, then music I don't love. And I'm like, Joe Angel is going to tell me a show that is like his whole life. And he's like, this means everything to me. And
I won't hate you. I won't hate you when you say no to those shows.
You know what I'm getting to.
But you will have to tell everybody you're the reason I'm never moving back to Abilene.
You must pay for your crimes, for your lies. Because, I'm going to be roasted if anybody does listen to this and they love the show. And I go, not a listen, not a watch. I mean, I'm not going to watch this. I would say yes. I would say if we were going to scale how likely I'm going to watch something from 1 to, let's say, 1 billion, 1 to 1 billion. What's my scale here?
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
How much are you like?
Okay, if I go Ghost Stories, I'm saying, that's probably a 9 to a 10. That's for sure I'm going to watch. Baka and Test, I'm going to go 7. Yeah. I'm leaning. I mean, I found everything very entertaining. It's fun. It's also
it's one you're gonna watch, but not like, hey, I have to finish this.
Yeah, I gotta finish. It's like 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
2 seasons, 13 episodes a piece.
13 episodes a piece.
That, and they're only 20 minutes long. Yeah. I know what's gonna happen, or I know the formula. I know what's.
It'd be something where if you need to kill time, you can. You can throw it on.
Just kind of throw it on. I can. I'm intrigued by the characters. I'm intrigued by the the storyline, the silliness. There's obviously going to be some sort of, unrequited love between Yoshi and Himeji.
There's a 3-way triangle.
Yeah, 3 love triangle. I'm guessing there. So like. I can find myself watching the show at a 7.
Team Minami. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Oh, did I write that name down? I wrote it down.
She was the redhead.
Okay.
She was the one that kept beating him up.
Oh, Okay. So, because she actually likes him. Uh,